guess maybe my little iPhone is going out. What's up, it's your man Rico? Rico, the opinionist. Just want to share a thought or two. What's up to my YouTube channel? It's growing. Appreciate y'all. A lot has been going on, and it's cool. Nothing to get all worked up about, in my opinion. Continue to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Those of you who've done just that. But look, I know y'all, you have to be living under a rock to not notice what's been going on. Hold on, check it out. Ooh. You know what's been, with Israel and Iran, and they're supposed to have a ceasefire, which they did. But then 1 hour into the ceasefire, Israel shoots off, man, I guess as he was saying, all of their missiles, I guess to get them all out the way, the ones they didn't get a chance to use. But what's so interesting, for those of you who are wondering, 77 million people voted for President Donald Trump a second time. What he was saying, when he said this last time, out of really frustration and about his presidency, instead of people joining in on the go along and get along gang, shout out to Kwame Brown, dogpiling him up because he's been successfully made into a villain. That's debate can be had anywhere, but he's, with the help of the mighty, powerful media that we have here, the media can make you or break you. They can make you a villain. They can make you a hero. When they do their reporting, and then you have their little lame ass heavy left lean media pundits. When they get to, let's just say, moralizing the stories, or moralizing, when they start sharing their way far out opinions about stuff, or about people. So he's been made a villain, all because he ran for president as a Republican. But had he, hey, what's up, Kerry? But had President Trump run as a Democrat, he'd have been just fine. Y'all see how that works, right? Because obviously before he became president, he was hanging out with a whole lot of Democratic folks, black, white, and others. But all of a sudden, when he decided to run, he ran as a Republican, and all of a sudden he's not worth spitting on the ground. But anyway, and the White House can use a break from could you really needed this break from all the nonsense, painting the White House rainbow, sending people over to Africa to try to force them to accept homosexuality. What's up? Trying to force them to accept homosexuality. There's Democratic presidents, Democrat, light free. What's up? Whenever there's a Republican president, they never send convoys over to Africa to try to force them into accepting homosexuality into their culture. And then when they say no, they threaten them with embargoes and sanctions. But you know what? They never go with that. Hey, Jackal, what's up? No, it didn't, light free. Shut the fuck up. My homosexuality started in Africa. No, it didn't. It started in Europe. So now, nice try. Actually, started with the Arabs. They brought the nonsense over, but really over in Europe. And then when people brought to these various plantations, that's when they were able to act out all their homosexual sickness on enslaved and kidnapped people, African people. And that stuff just continued all the way through. When people want to talk about people are born this gay, well, it could be some genetics that's been passed on since the beginning of raping people and sodomizing men. That's been going on forever. Shout out to the Greek culture and the European culture for that kind of foolishness. But anyway, we needed a break from all that nonsense. And 2000 is pretty cool. And he said they was booty bangers in the Roman army. Man, light free, just stop, man. Nobody said that black people weren't gay. And you ain't got to name Al. You ain't got to name the rapper. We know it. Hell, we know people are gay. We talking about how it got thrown, and why is it? If it's such a cool thing, why is it being thrust on people? Why do you force people? Why do you bother children with your nonsense? Nobody cares about who's gay. The issue is leave children out of it and don't try to force it on people. If your stuff was so right and so good by God, you don't have to force it. Did you know that? You know, Chris Hansen said Diddy forced me. Don't do that. Diddy had some charges dropped, by the way. Shout out to Knox City. Yes, the Roman. Let me see. Iceman. My folks doing today. Much love from Springfield, Missouri. Shout out to Springfield, Missouri. But look, y'all. And by the way, those of you coming in, please like, share, and subscribe. I need y'all to share these videos. When I come on to talk to you. Oh, wow, somebody threw in a dark skin joke. Who's that, Canel Zabe? Damn, you black as oil. Well, the original people look just like God, jackass. Didn't I just tell you? All the raping that took place. I'm supposed to be darker. I'm not really black, like I should be. At some point, my melanin has been infiltrated. My melanin has been compromised. So if you thought you was hurting my feelings, I know who I am, jackass. I'm not a Cuban or a Dominican. You can't hurt my feelings by calling me who I originally am. I am a dark-skinned human being because God is dark-skinned. When the planet was created, we all look like the color of oil, fool. Yeah, the sun don't burn me, motherfucker, like it burns you. So I ain't know. You Sammy Sosas out there can't hate your dark skin. Right here putting bleach on your face. Trying to look pink and stupid. No, God is light as in spirituality, not as in white, fool. So anyway, and we got a lot of people who go that route. So anyway, and so having said that, y'all, we got a 4-year break, and then they got the White House back, and they doubled down on the nonsense. Spending on in these other countries. We never knew what they were. Funding Ukraine, Russian war, all that kind of mess. And so luckily, when people got tired of it, that's how we got this president again for those who are wondering how we got the president back. Donald Trump need to be the president because that kind of nonsense. So, and this whole Israel and Iran thing, it's been always been going on. Always. This is the first time. What makes him so significant in many ways. He's not Superman. He's not a perfect human being. But if you're a politician, there's no such thing as a perfectly behaving human being when you're a politician. Trust me. Politicians come in there to be deal weeds and dickholes and dickwads. They're terrible people. So it doesn't matter what party they're in. Both parties going to screw us. But one thing about it, when Trump became president the first time, there was a transparency that occurred that we as Americans never ever thought about. Let us right on to what goes on and how people really let us know how people really felt and what was really on his mind. See, what people don't understand is what upsets a lot of these elites in a Democratic Party and some of those little sellouts in the Republican Party. Trump was never a politician. He was a businessman. And that's what they hated about him because, and look, we're going to do business deals because he came from corporate America. He owns all the damn real estate in New York and all over. And so he says, you know what? Let's make a deal. And that's what they did. See, those other folks is playing games. They come to the TV. He would come to the television. They would have these wonderful speeches because, they fancy themselves on being very articulate. And a lot of the liberals are very, very well trained in word salad. That's why when they talk, you're like, wow, they're so articulate. Man, they've really commanded. They've really grasped a hold of the King's English. They They do. And then, but that's their cover. All while they're telling you to be this way, they're being another way. They're doing just as much stealing. They're just as capitalistic. They're just as segregating. They're just as racist. They're just as all of that. But you know, just like the fox and the wolf. See, the wolf comes in showing his teeth and letting you know what his intentions are. But the fox comes in like, ooh, barely showing his teeth like, hey, how y'all doing? Hey, I ain't even about all of that. I just came in, I just want peace, okay? I don't worry about none of that. See, that's how the fox comes in, then you look at him, you laugh at him. And so you let him on in your house or you let him in your chicken coop. He'll come up to you while you're guarding your chicken coop, the fox. The wolf come in, the wolf come in like, yeah. Soon y'all blink, I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna eat all the goddamn chickens. And so you grab your axe, you grab your gun, you do all of that. But then the fox walk up guarding your chicken coop. Ooh, hey y'all, how y'all doing? What y'all got going on back there? We guarding our chickens from, for all you predators out there. First of all, I'm not a predication. I don't do all that. I'm a vegetarian. I don't even eat no meat. So, but I hear what y'all doing. I respect it. I respect that what y'all doing. But if y'all ever need any help to keep that wolf out of there, because, he eats everybody. And so, well, you know what? I hear you, man. Sure, come on in, Fox. You can help us guard the chickens. Okay, it ain't too hot in there, is it? Because I don't like being hot. Just get in there, throwing them off again. He get in there. Next thing you know, get real quiet up in the chicken coop. And then all of a sudden he comes out. Ooh, excuse me. Hiccup and feathers. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, I had an appointment I was on my way to before I started helping y'all guard them chickens. And so I'm gonna go on by my way, okay? All right, thank you, Fox. Thank you for coming in and helping us guard these chickens. And next thing you know, you go in there looking there, chicken feathers and guts all over the goddamn coop. All over the chicken, refuge. And all of a sudden everybody feeling stupid. But that's the Democratic Party. So we've always been warned about the evils of the Republican Party, and rightfully so. However, if you understand politics, you understand business, who told you to be in love with your politician anyway? If you're about business and not about personal relationships, you wouldn't have a problem with Trump or any president. So, but one thing about it, he got elected again and people are pissed. So much so they'll purposely create insurgents and shutting down the country. Trying to shut it down, but don't nobody care what they do. Don't nobody care. So you can run your ass right here to no king day. Nobody care about that shit. We got 3 branches of government. You can't have no goddamn king. Fascism. We have 3 branches of government. You can't have no goddamn fascism in this country. It's a capitalistic society. But the weirdos want socialism and Marxism. Y'all know what that means. LGBT run amok. That's all this shit is about. So the president has been, they've had since my existence, being alive in this country, we've never had cameras on the inside while the president is talking to other leaders. Never. So he's talked to Zelensky. He's been in there talking to one of the African presidents. I went down. He's and all those other presidents. They kind of keep it on the hush, and you get to hear it on the traditional news. What was reported, but we get to see exactly what's being said, and that is something different. And so anyway, so you get a man who's elected who speaks his mind. Now, by him not being a polished politician, he's saying some wild stuff that we think is wild. But those of us who speak with our own independent minds, we don't think a lot of stuff he said is wild. Matter of fact, it's stuff that need to be said. The politicians who are polished and coiffed, well, they keep a lot of stuff out. They do a lot of editing. But this president, who has never been trained to be a politician, well, that's why the elite Democrats and those deep-pocketed elite Republicans then want him to be president the first time. And they don't want him to be president now. But one thing about it, they're gaining something from it, because there's all little Democrats thought they're going to try to impeach the man again for the war in Iran. And it come to find out, thank goodness for social media. Okay, all it does is go back and dig up all the records and show that every president has done what what President Trump did. He used he went and used his powers as the president. No, we're going to go ahead and do this. Biden did it. Obama did it. Clinton did it. Even them did it. They were saying, well, he should have gotten permission from Congress to do that. No, none of those presidents did. So that shut that dumbass accusation down, that lie. And so he does everything that everyone before him has done, but because he's been the campaign against his personality and against him has been so successful, people just run with it. See, there you go right there. If it take us in World War III, when World War III hit your ass, you gonna know it. But conflict over there, And also, y'all need to recognize that every president that this country has ever had, especially since 1948, when Israel was allowed and funded to become a state, they have to get involved in some kind of world conflict. Have to. It's just like part of the presidential initiation. Because his first term, he was able to get away with it. And people were pissed because war is billions of dollars to pockets that we'll never meet. So y'all stop acting so immature and stop letting these men, because they got the shit beat out of them in 24. Oh my God, Project 2025. Yeah, sure, that's coming. Or I guess. Yeah. Oh my God, these cuts, they're hurting the people. Every president has made cuts in the federal government. But since it's him, they're blowing it up 5 times, 20 times worse than what it is. But those other presidents that we've had before him, they made major cuts to the government, federal government. They more people than he has. Obama, 3 million. That's why he was nicknamed the Porter in Chief. I think Biden opened the gates wide open. So, you know what I'm saying? We have to be mature about this, man. Regardless of what y'all think about this guy, he's still the president of the United States. And for those of you who are out here siding with people who broke the law, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're a goddamn country traitor. You're a Benedict Arnold. You ought to be ashamed of your goddamn self. I don't care what I think about this current president. I don't care what I thought about Obama. I don't care what I thought about this son of a bitch racist Biden. But I'll never go against this country for somebody else. You know why? Because I live here. My parents live here. My brother, my sisters, my siblings live here. Everything is here. So why would I want to see the country fail because I don't like the personality of the president? That is the most ignorant shit. And y'all sit around here, you know who you are. Y'all sided with people who snuck across the border and lived for free off of our tax dollars. Y'all think that's okay? You think any of you can go to Venezuela and go to El Salvador, go to Mexico, go to what else? Costa Rica, wherever the hell they coming from. You think y'all can go there? Sneak in there. If you can sneak in there, shit, let me know how. Because can't nobody sneak in none of those countries. But if you can sneak in there, and then you get to live there, so long, you get to live there so long that you have grandchildren, and they all lived off the goddamn stuff. You can't beat it. Then you're going to have the nerve. Like you've done that. You live here 20 years, 25 years. You got grandkids. And you never thought about going to the office to go get that paperwork to get you to become legalized? Full of shit. And then you got our very own politicians. These goddamn Democratic politicians helping them. It's crazy. I know y'all been watching news like I've been watching it. Helping them. They're going to prison to them. And black folks who vote 95% for Democrats, don't you feel stupid? These same people that you voted for, they're out there getting arrested for illegals. They're getting arrested. But they ain't even sit outside in the sun for 2 hours for your black ass. Listen, I'm not telling y'all to vote for no Republicans or nothing. I'm telling you, these people who y'all vote for, black Americans vote at 95% on average every election. These same people are out there getting arrested to play Superman and Superwoman for illegals. Y'all didn't hear it, did you? See, y'all be letting y'all fuck around listening to MSNBC and CNN and or the president called it MSDNC. He should have said DNN, Democratic News Network. He should have went on down the line. It's amazing. It's amazing. So I just kind of chill. I ain't get into it about all this because I already see what's going on. But one thing that let us know why we voted for voted for this guy to be president again. When he said this morning, he said, "Look, I don't know if he said yesterday morning. He said it this week. The president when he said, "Look, uh, we had a deal. Then Israel, oh slick ass, you're gonna still shoot some missiles out there. We had a deal. You little renegger. You flies on the deal, Israel. You gonna unload all your bombs." And then he said, and Iran, you ain't no better. But I guess, hold on a second here. He said, you gonna unload all these damn bombs to the level that I've never witnessed before. Tried to tell y'all ass. And so he was pissed, legitimately pissed. You ever seen a president ever allowed himself to get pissed? Well, I'm saying he's not a polished president. He doesn't know that you're supposed to hold everything in. You're supposed to just talk straight, look straight ahead. You're supposed to play that role, but he's not. He's a regular guy. He did like everybody else who's a billionaire. He used his money to get in the White House. And so I don't know why people, upset with billionaires. I ain't never heard such a thing. We live in a capitalistic country. It's about getting that money. And the damn Democrats convince people to hate people with money. When every day we all work to try to get at least half that goddamn level of wealth. It's amazing. I said, damn, man, am I living in a Twilight Zone? You got people hating people for having money. When we all, chasing that dollar on some level. It's amazing. And so, but I think what they're upset is he's kind of unchained. Now, am I saying he's not controlled or advised by some people? Sure. He's the president. He got a whole lot of advisors and people kind of telling him which way to go and what to do. But he's not a serious puppet on the string like the other ones. So Gene says, I respect you, sir. God bless you. Thank you, Gene. I appreciate you. Subscribe. And while y'all on here, I appreciate y'all, man. Hit that Cash App too if y'all like what you're hearing. And if you like a copy of my short story where I met my father, hey, hit that Cash App. It's only $10. And please send me an email address if you'd like to read when I and I told him Google Maps, MapQuest, and he said, I have to give you an A for effort because I've worked aggressively over the years to prevent you from ever finding me. So if y'all want to read the rest of how the rest of that conversation went, it's like 50 pages. But it's only $10. $ RicoRiversMSW. It's in my description box. Please go ahead and check it out. And I appreciate you in advance for your support. But yeah, so he said, yeah, they around here playing games. I told this one to stop. I told Israel to stop. I told Iran to stop. Look, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And you've never heard, I don't know if they got to go back to the 1920s, the 1900s or something to see if any president ever just cussed on the news like that out of frustration. Well, I'm saying that's what, for those of you who are wondering, why did 77 million people vote for him? That's why. You got a real one up there. You got a real one. But anyway, y'all, don't betray your country just because you listen to some weird-ass Democrats. And also what I was saying about them having money, every Democrat that's telling you he's Hitler, all that little silly shit. Did you know they were millionaires? These Democrats that's telling you to be mad at President Trump, they're millionaires. See, it's all about a power play. and he has beat them at their game, and so they're doing everything to sabotage any positive piece of legislation that he'd like to push through. That's why he's using executive orders, because he knows these little pricks, these little hate, mean spirited, they're not gonna let him pass anything. So yeah, use your executive power to get what's needed. And yeah, they talking about, well, he getting Elon Musk himself rich. Everybody in the White House has gotten themselves rich. Our goal should be, hey, to try to convince them, hey, kick some of that money down to us. And so, do I agree with a lot of stuff he's doing and saying? Of course not. But I'm not gonna pretend that he's just this complete monster, because I listen to my own mind. I don't let people describe somebody to me. I read, I look, I listen for my goddamn self. I've always been like that. I've always used my own mind. You can't stand on the platforms of CNN and MSNBC and ABC, CBS, and all this shit and tell me about somebody. I know how to read. So, just like how they try to do Minister Farrakhan. Luckily, we for the most part we had enough sense to know, no, he's telling the truth. Trump lies. He lies every time he opens his mouth. Well, what politician ever tells you the goddamn truth? Come on, man. These folks trying to stay in office, and they'll tell you whatever they think you want to hear on both sides. So let's be mature about it. Let's look at this thing as business. And I'm saying, for the president, y'all shut the fuck up and let him cook. And then in 2028, to those of you who don't like him being president, you get your people out. Get your people out. That's all it is. Just get your people out, and you can change the political landscape or trajectory in 2028. But I'm here to tell you that JDvance, whoo, that JDvance gonna be tough. I don't know if y'all ever heard him speak. Well, if you should have heard him on the campaign. I don't know if too many people can really out debate him. JDvance is a smart mouth. He's quick with it, and he I don't know. So shit. And JDvance, and don't let him have none. Do not let him. Trump can't run again, can he? No, and he can't. They even put that lie out. He might. And Trump does so much trolling. Y'all know that man just be talking shit. So much trolling. It's ridiculous. But that's what's part of the charm. He's funny as shit. But JDvance gonna be kind of tough unless JD does something in the last hour. He does something or says something so stupid. But they don't really want this smoke from JDvance. I'm not giving him some promotion or anything. I just know as the VP, Kamala Harris would never. And then also have to be honest about what are we for, what are we against. No, legitimately, because a lot of us as independents, voted on the right side. Yeah, and some of us, a lot of us, we voted for independents, and we voted for Republicans. I'm not a Republican. I don't think I vote for no damn Republican. I vote for an independent candidate before I do that. And the only Republican I ever voted for is Trump. So yeah. And then and to you liberal white folks out there, how you vote for Trump? He's a racist. All this. Well, I go back in the archives. I try, and I think I read what he said. If you don't know whether to vote for me or Biden, you ain't black. Oh, that wasn't Trump. Oh, I remember what he said. I need a crime bill that makes sure it's targeted to the black neighborhoods where hundreds and thousands of them will get arrested for George Bush and them putting crack in the neighborhood, and I'm gonna create a law that punishes them for being addicts. There wasn't Trump, there was Joe Biden and Bill Clinton. Oh, wow. Well, damn. Oh, I know what he said that really pissed me off. He said, I'm not going to do anything that specifically benefits blacks. No. Oh, he never. Oh, there was Kamala Harris. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this down. I know he did this shit. Y'all remember on the CNN when those 10,000 y'all remember when those on CNN when those about 10 to 11,000 black folks from Haiti came to the border? It was up there with the Hispanics, and one day He sent the United States. They sent the helicopters to helicopter them right back to Haiti that same day Trump did that. Sent them right back to Haiti, and then helicopter the Latinos and Hispanics back to Venezuela and El Salvador and Mexico. Y'all remember that? Oh, that wasn't Trump. Oh, Biden. Oh, well, okay. Oh, I know. How about when they were trying to integrate the schools and integrate the buses? Yeah, I remember. I remember what he said. He said, "Yeah, I don't. Oh, yeah, I don't want my kids to attend a racial jungle." Oh, peace out, Gene. Have a good evening. Don't forget to hit that like on the way out and share that like button. Thank you. So yeah. Oh, he said, yeah, I don't want my kids to be attending the racial jungle. Oh, that wasn't Trump. Oh, that was Biden. Damn. I'm trying to see what makes him such a racist, other than, you know. Well, anyway, y'all figure that out. No, Trump is not an angel. He said some weird ass stuff, but Joe Biden said some very clear stuff about black people, against blacks. So y'all need to stop saying that. With that, fuck tyranny. Yeah, I try to speak the truth, or at least share my opinion about things. If you view it as the truth, hey, that's cool too. But again, all those of you in here, please go and press that like button. Press that like button. I really appreciate it. Yeah, even if if you happen to hit that cash app, that'd be awesome too. But anyway, I just want to share that. I'm just saying, keep going. Y'all let the president cook. Damn, let him cook. Let him move the country forward. And so, but anyway, I digress. Y'all be cool. It's your man Rico, the opinionist. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all of you for always coming on and hollering at your boy. And when I get on my laptop, we're gonna be able to talk to each other. Y'all better come in. Don't say anything ignorant. We're gonna have a conversation about whatever the topic is, or whatever's on your mind. Just stay tuned. But in the meantime, I need those 2,000 hours of clock time. Okay? Y'all be cool. Talk to y'all later. Peace.